So, Pakistan, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Migrants face myriad of challenges in countries of transit and destination, which has been exacerbated by the pandemic. Drivers of migration already present before the pandemic have not only persisted but have in some instances increased. Borders have been closed and pathways for regular migration have been reduced, pushing many migrants to resort to the services of smugglers and risking their lives. The implementation of Objectives 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, and 21 of the Global Compacts for Safe, Orderly, and Regular Migration, GCM, are of paramount importance to ensure safety, security, dignity, and well-being of migrants. First, it is important that migrants should be provided access to pathways for regular migration and to prevent and reduce irregular migration and statelessness. Legal identity is also central to migrants' ability to fully participate in society, to protect their rights, provide them ability to fully participate in the society, to protect their rights, provide them with the access to services such as health, education, and justice, and to empower them to contribute to the communities they live in. Countries of destination should facilitate access to legal identification and documents. Mechanisms should be put in place to address harmful practices such as seizing of personal identity documents, particularly for migrants, workers in regular and irregular situations, and victims of trafficking. Secondly, at least 47,000 people have died during their migration journey since 2014. Member states should strengthen efforts to prevent the loss of life, including by prioritizing better search and rescue operation at sea and in hostile environment on land. Countries of transit and destination should review migration policies to ensure they do not put lives at risk, including via deterrence-based approaches and criminalization of humanitarian assistance to migrants and their families. Thirdly, there is an urgent need for transnational coordination channels and information sharing mechanism to search for missing migrants across countries of origin, transit, and destination. Comprehensive and quality management mechanisms should be introduced, including robust and internationally comparable data collection to identify those who have died, to ensure traceability. Fourthly, along with migration routes, enhanced cooperation is required to address reported incidents of aggravated forms of migrants smuggling involving endangerment of lives, violence, abuse, and exploitation, and the related challenges to effectively protect migrants' life. Fifthly, international cooperation is required to break the cycle of migrants' vulnerability to staff trafficking in person at any point of their journey, to ensure the non-criminalization of migration who have become victims of trafficking, to expand access to pathways for regular migrations, to prevent the risk of trafficking in person, and to more systematically involve the private sector in preventing the crime and responding to the needs of the victims concerned. Efforts should be made worldwide to foster cross-border collaboration for the effective investigation and prosecution of traffickers. Lastly, the lack of agreed minimum standards included how to measure the sustainability of reintegration and other factors such as lack of proof of legal identity, as well as persistent gaps in international cooperation on readmission pose a risk for safe and dignified return and can increase migrants' vulnerability. Countries of origin and destination should work together to devise means to ensure sustainable reintegration of returning migrants into countries' community life, including by providing them equal access to social protection and services, and to promote their contribution to sustainable development in the country of origin upon return.